Hi, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are around the world and watching this program. My name is Wanda Thomas, and this is Wanda's Road to Success. I hope to touch the hearts and minds of those who has been seeking for a new experience in their lives, which will be seeking God, actually. That's the best seek that anyone can have to change their lives for the better. Matthew 6:33 says, "Seek thee first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you." And I'm seeking God, and I want all things, not just physical things, the spiritual things as well. There's so much other stuff better than physical things. When you have a state of mind, a state of being with peace, having peace, and everything is okay with you. And in that sense, when I say everything is okay with you, meaning your bills are paid, you have a job, you have a roof over your head. And if those things aren't at your fingertip, still God already suffered. Jesus already suffered for us. And it's going to be okay. Just trust in him. With that said, I want to just do before I do a recap, guys, I want to say, I just want to say, it is my birthday. It's November 30th. And this is my birthday. And this is what I enjoy doing. I'm going to do this program real quick, and then I'm going to be off to go see my family. I'm going to go catch a movie. I'm going to go to the store and buy me some shoes. And, the thing is, I work the night shift, and my body's so used to it. So when I get off work at 8 o'clock in the morning, I have all the day to myself, that I go to the gym, I do things, I do different things, whatever, do workshops, go to the shelter, whatever I'm doing, recruiting, and, come home and enjoy my home and watch movies or do some homework because I'm in school online. And then I take it down at 3 o'clock. That is my schedule, and I'm off on Thursdays and Fridays. So actually, this is my day off. So why did I give you all of that? Because I guess I wanted to just give my viewers an opportunity of who Wanda Thomas is. I am a lover of Christ, and nowhere near perfect, and I would never try to pretend to be that. But Lord knows I do try to do my best. And when I do fall short, I just repent and say, Lord, forgive me, give me another opportunity to get this right. And he tells you, if he want us in Matthew, he tells us, forgive your brother 70 times 70, no matter what your neighbor or your brother in blood or brother and sister in Christ do to you. He tells you, forgive them 70 times 70. What does that mean? Does he mean forgive them 70 times 70 a day or lifetime? I mean, really, who really pisses someone off or make mistakes with someone that many times? We cut family members off with one time they do something wrong to us. We no longer want to have anything to do with them. So we don't give no one the opportunity to mess with us or mess up with us 70 times 70. What is that? 70 times 70 is what, 140? Don't quote me, guys, but it's up there, So who really annoys or get on somebody's nerves that many times a day? And even if they do, God says forgive them 70 times 70. Every day is another day. So if someone pisses you off 70 times 70 on a daily basis, well, tomorrow's another day. But I don't think anyone will go through life allowing someone to just torment them like that. And you continue to just deal with it. Now, God do gives us wisdom. Okay? So with that said, I'm going to do a quick recap, and it's very brief. And I'm not going to try to be before you long, which I always find myself saying I'm not. I'm going to try to really make this 10 minutes to 15 minutes if I can, and just go through it, because again, my program is all about giving an outline. The juicy stuff is going to come, but I find it robbery for someone. All of my programs is in a chronological order, and I just find it robbery if I just jump from here and jump from there, because you never know who's going to watch this program. Someone may be flipping and find my channel, and my topics may hit them, hit a nerve, hit that marrow, and they may get something from this. So, and if that is the case, they may look at an old clipping or a first clipping or a last clipping, and then they may find the whole order and look at them, and it may have touched that person's life and changed their lives. So that's what I want to do. So that's why my program, my format is set up to go in this chronological order. So I talked about Pentacles. I'm going to do a quick recap. Pentacles is just the beginning to get into Genesis, and it breaks down the fall of man, the creation, the universe. It gives an outline and an opening to bring in Genesis. And so if you watched my last week taping, technically last week I didn't do anything. I just was so backed up with school and work and a little tired. So I'm hoping this week will be better and I can stay on track. So this week, fast forwarding to Genesis, I'm going to just give an outline, because again, my whole program is all about the chronological order from Genesis to Revelation. I'm going to hit on each book, from Old Testament to New Testament, in an outline. And when I finish those outlines, and I don't know how long God has me on this, however long it takes me to finish, that's how long I will be on it. Because again, like I said, I find it robbery if I don't if I do I find it robbery if I don't do this order like this. Okay, and then we'll get into those topics of love, money, jobs, sex, relationships, marriage. I know I say this every week. I can't wait to get on those topics either, because that's just part of life. I want to know you all idea of what is a good relationship, and what makes a good relationship. Is it possible for true love and understanding? And I'm talking about relationships not for 3 weeks or 3 months, that if you who's happy. I haven't met anyone, people, that, I guess, let me just go back a little bit. I guess relationships, I guess it does, it goes through levels. I mean, again, I'm not in a relationship, I'm not married. One day I would hope to, but I'm looking for that love. I haven't found anyone that really just, I don't know, we just don't hit it. I mean, I have a lot of friends, and no one snatched me off my feet. Something different. I mean, if I can do it by myself, I'm just looking for, I know what I'm looking for, and I just haven't found it, guys. I just haven't found it. And I mean, when I see it, it can be right there in front of me, but I haven't seen it yet. And when I do, I will jump for joy. But in the meantime, God just gave me this joy and this peace to just enjoy what I have. And when that time comes, I guess it's going to be a miracle, if you will, or it'll be worth it, But anyways, going forward, I want to jump into Genesis. I'm just going to do a quick outline. I'm going to do this quick and be before you for a few minutes, just so we can move forward with all of the other stuff I got to cover down the road. So with Genesis, opens up with Genesis is the first book of the Bible, and it opens up with Genesis 1. Everyone knows that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And God created the heavens and the earth. And fast forwarding it, he in that time span he created man. He created heaven first. He created the earth, and with that he divided the 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 waters. He divided the heavens and the earth with water, and um, he created man. He created the animals. He created all the things here and there on the earth today. He gave man dominion over the earth, over the in the heavens, flying things, creepy things on the earth. It wasn't meant for man to dominate over man. That's why we clash so much. That's why we bump heads so much, because he never said, I'm going to give you dominion over man. He said over the birds of the air and the animals and the creepy things crawling, never over man. It had never supposed to have been like this. And I tell you guys, oh boy, we bicker. We bicker. We bump heads. Everybody wants power and control, and that's fine. But have power and control over your own life, not over our lives. Not over everyone else's life. You got your boss telling you what to do. You leave home, you probably got your husband or your wife telling you what to do, and then you go, you out in the world and you got somebody else telling you what to do, and then you at work and you got your supervisor and somebody that's over you or a senior worker that's telling you what to do, and you just have no control. So when a person lash out, they lash out because they're lashing out like I have no power. I'm tired of everybody telling me what to do. And there you have it. And that's why folks have all these issues and dramafied and just go through it, because they feel that they're powerless. Well, I'm here to tell you guys I'm nowhere near powerless, because I have Jesus. And he taught me very well. My knowledge, my wisdom, it comes from Jesus. Just like Paul in the New Testament, he was taught by the Spirit of Jesus in the desert of Arabia, the Bible tells us. And me, I'm taught by the Spirit of God, because I meditate in his word, I study his word, I pray in his word, and I try to associate myself with all those like-minded people as well, and those who are not a Jesus follower. That's fine. Whatever you about, whatever you into, whatever your religion or not, even an atheist, that's a religion. You don't believe anything. Whatever it is, that's fine. God bless you. You can never change me. I will hear you, I will love on you, and I will listen to your thoughts on world religion, world history, life, relationship. I will listen, and if I don't agree, sometimes it's best just to keep your opinion to yourself. I'll keep my opinion to myself, and let you feel and do things the way that feel fit to you. And if you ask my opinion, I will ask, do you want to hear what's going to make you happy, or do you want to hear what I feel is the truth from my perspective? That's one thing about me. We all have our own opinion. Even when we read the Bible, we interpret it in our own way. There's a technique in how to interpret the Bible, but we still pretty much interpret the Bible how we want, or what we feel and what our flesh feels. And we're supposed to be dead in the flesh, and especially when we read that word, we're supposed to be in the spirit. But anyways, quick, I just wanted to give that little commentary right there. and quickly go into Genesis. So we talked about heaven and earth. God created man. We didn't suppose to have dominion over man, but over the creepy things and the things, wings in the air, and all of those good things. Um, we jump into in Genesis after Adam and Eve was defiant to God. They was thrown out of the Garden of Eden. Then the first death came into place when Abel, and because Adam and Eve had Abel and Cain outside the garden. So now they're in their fleshly world. The first death came, Cain killing Abel, and God sending Cain on his way. And I'm rushing through this, guys, because it's a lot, and I wouldn't dare try to go in depth. So I'm pretty much just giving an outline as much as I can with Genesis, and so God, Cain killed, uh, and there's so much behind this story as you continue to read and find yourself a local church to get in a local church that studies the word and that's Bible taught. I'm just giving just an outline and very brief on the story. And so when Cain killed Abel, um, he sent Cain off. And Cain, I'm going to paraphrase, said, Lord, you sending me out there and I got an X on my head. And that X on his head was pretty much, was symbolic. It wasn't a physical X or whatever. He said, people are going to kill me. And he said, no one will touch you. And I'm paraphrasing, guys. When you read your word, you will understand what I'm saying. So I'm going to fast forward from that, and then Noah comes into after that section. Noah comes into the story, and Noah in the ark, if you will, that folks know Noah by. He asked Noah to build an ark, and the world was just full of just a mess. Just they partying and just doing whatever. Pretty much the mess that we do today, that the government tells us that it's okay. Whatever you do, however you do it, these things are quite okay. I mean, there's a lot of things I can hit on that, but I got to come very delicate because I would never want nobody to take me as unkind. Let me say it like that. So I try to be very careful how I say things and not offensive to others, because it's not right to be offensive, but sometimes you still got to put it out there, and sometimes it may hurt. The truth hurt, but you have to put it out there. But it's still a way how you can put the truth out without hitting people over the head. I see how people put truth out, and they can be very dogmatic and very hurtful and offensive. Nobody wants to be publicly humiliated and stuff like that. So with that said, so Noah came and he built the ark, and he brought all of the animals on board, and it's scholars that believe that the whole earth wasn't flooded, just a region part of the earth, and then there's some that say the whole earth was flooded. So it's, guys, we always going to be searching, and sometimes it's okay not to just know it all or have to be accurate. I mean, at the end of the day, we know God flooded, whether it was regional part of the earth or the whole earth or whatever. We know from what the Bible tells us, he brought all of the animals 2 by 2 into the ark. They were out there for 30 days, 40 days, and the water receded, and everyone got off. It was not only the animals 2 by 2, and it was also 7 souls. It was Noah and his 3 sons and his wife and their wives. So it was 7 souls. Was it? Let me see. 3 sons, the 3 wives, 6, 7. I'm sorry, the 8 souls. My math a little off. So we know it was those 8 souls on the ark, and from what scripture tells us, It was, if the whole earth was flooded and everybody was dead except those souls, they was let off the ark. The animals was let off the ark, and it's those seven that started the earth again, replenishing the earth again. Guys, I can go into this, but I'm just gonna just keep it simple and just give you just a little bit of something for you to just think about and think about it and question it, study and find, the truth in what you believe the word is saying. I mean, I can go more into that, but I'm just going to leave that alone because that's a whole study for some time on its own. Um, so after that, God made a covenant with Noah and said, I will never flood the earth again. And here's my promise. Whenever you see a bow in the sky, and that bow he's talking about is a rainbow. Whenever you see a bow in the sky, that is the promise that God is never going to, that's the promise that God will never flood the earth again. So guys, anytime that it rains, whatever, and you look up at the sky and there's a rainbow, red, a rainbow, what is it? The rainbow is what? Blue, red, orange, that color. Smile, because when I see a rainbow in the sky after a storm, it just reminds me the promise that whatever happens on this earth, I know it's not going to be a flood. Whatever going to happen, whether man going to blow it up or however it's going to go down, I know it's not going to be a flood because the Bible tells us God said he'll never flood the earth again. And my rainbow in the sky, my bow, is a promise as a reminder I will never do that again. So that right there, for me, I'm confident. I'm confident in what God says, and that's that. And so we're going to fast forward from Noah. We're going to jump into now Abraham, and then Abraham had Isaac, and the obedience came from Abraham, who Abraham, he was a Gentile, and he didn't know God. And that obedience, God said, take your family and leave your family and your country and go to a land, a place where I'm going to send you with milk and honey. And Abraham, not knowing God like that, that's the obedience we need to have. He didn't know him from a can of paint. And he got up, took his wife and his servants and his stock and those things there. And he left. And he wandered. He didn't know where he was going. He basically was just listening to what God said and was going wherever God was saying go. And he would place his tent here. He would place his tent there. And he was all over the place. As God sent him, but he trusted him. That's where we need to be, people. We need to trust in God, but we only want to give God just a tap, a little bit of ourselves. We only want to give him enough to say, I'm obedient, I'm obeying God. We don't want to give God all of us. We want to give him we want to give God just enough, but we don't want to give him all of us. I want to give God all of me, because we mess up so much. We mess up with our loved ones. We mess up in our relationships. We mess up with our wives and our husbands, our children. We leave one relationship and jump into another relationship, and the kids are all confused. And then you got to deal with your ex-wife and the the kids, and then you got your new wife who arguing with you and fussing with you, and vice versa, and the new kid, and it's just drama. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. And that's why we're all over the place and all this confusion, because we get into stuff, never got answer from God, but just got into, we won't last in anything, we won't stay in anything. Soon as somebody do something you don't like and messed up, and and something because they are messed up or made an error, and now you want to leave the relationship after 10 years, after 20 years, and you can't seem to reconcile. It just, oh my God, I could go on with that. It's just, that's why I'm single, guys. Now, understand, I'm looking for that love, but I'm at a nice, ripe age that I don't think like a child. I put away childish things a long time ago. And I'm looking for that person who can match up with me or better. And when I say match up with me, I'm talking about who can sweep me off my feet, who know what I'm about, who know what I want, and vice versa. And keep in mind, guys, when I say what I want, I'm not talking about material things. I can do those things myself. I want the mind. I want them to know my mind. I want to know their mind. I want to drown in just conversation and just get to know each other ongoing, not something half stepping. I want us to be on the same page. I want us to, I want. Yes, I do. I want that magic man. I do. I want that man that was made, that was born just for Wanda. Because right now, I don't know. I don't know. So until then, people, Wanda just have to, hey, bear and wait. It's all good. I mean, God keeps me content and happy. He gives me so many aspirations and desires. I have so many goals and dreams. I have so much going on, and he constantly just keep blessing me. Malachi 3:10, that God open up windows of heaven and pour out blessings that you just don't have enough room to receive. That's how I feel, that he just keep on blessing me and blessing me. So I can't complain. The only missing link in my life is that special man. Woof. I get that. Hands up. Life couldn't be sweeter. But in the meantime, until then, I'm going to continue to just still be my happy self and enjoy my loved ones, and continue to just touch lives and all that God has given me to do. With that said, I'm getting ready to wrap it up, guys. I jumped into Abraham, and Abraham had Isaac, and Isaac had his wife had the twins Esau and Jacob, and out of Esau and Jacob, when they were in, but God said there's two nations in the womb of Isaac's wife, and that you I think her name was Rebecca, in two wounds in the belly of Isaac's wife, and the older son is the elder son is going to serve the younger son. And even in his womb, God said, "There's nothing no one done." He said, "Esau I hate," and ooh, forgive me, guys, my phone. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to cut my phone off. I hate that, so forgive me. There was a wound. He said it's two nations in her wound, and the older son is going to serve the younger son, and that's Jacob. Now, Jacob did some deceiving things because of his mother um, gave approval on it, and with that, the 12 tribes came from the seed of Jacob. And that's where we got the 12 tribes of Israel today. In that 12 tribes, Joseph was the love of Jacob. That was his favorite son out of all his other sons. His other sons was jealous, so they planned to kill him. So instead of killing Joseph, they sold him to Egypt. Even through people deceiving one another, manipulation, God will find it pleasing and bless you even when you in mess, because they sold. And let me just jump back a little bit Joseph used to brag to his brothers about the dreams that he had, that they going to serve him, and they used to be pissed. They was pissed that he bragging and boosting how they going to be serving him, and they was pissed the fact that the father gave more attention to him, made him this coat of glory. That coat meant something. And so they was pissed. He was the youngest, and he kind of had authority over the oldest one. It's almost like Jacob used to send Joseph to spy on his brothers to make sure they doing the right thing with the flock. Joseph was the only one that knew how to write and read. So with that, when the brothers, instead of killing him, they sold him to the Egyptians as a slave. The Potiphar, the helper of the king of Pharaoh, and at that time, Potiphar, when he knew that Joseph can read and write, he put him in charge of his house. His house. And unfortunately, again, here come that enemy. He got thrown in jail because his Potiphar's wife lied and said that he tried to rape her. He was thrown in jail, and even in jail, yet again, God favored him. So look how awesome God is. Through our mess, whether it's our fault or someone else's fault, God will still find a way to bless you. No one can bless you the way God can. So I'm jumping into Joseph became the second in control in Egypt. First was the Pharaoh, then it was Joseph. Joseph ended up getting back at his brothers by tricking them, but then he couldn't trick them no more and play anymore. And when I say tricking them, when they had to come for the food because of the famine in that country, they had to come to Egypt for food, and Joseph was the one who they had to come, but they didn't know that was Joseph. But Joseph recognized them, and immediately Joseph started playing these mind games, and one thing led to another. Guys, I'm not going to go into depth. Go into Genesis. All of what I'm saying is right there. I'm just trying to wet your whistle. This story may be touching someone who never heard these stories, and they may want to get more. You seasoned saints who breezing past my program, this may not hit you, or it may not do anything for you, but it may touch that one person who is seeking something, looking for something. So we're going to fast forward, and now with I hope this was taping. Oh, Jesus. Yes. Yes, it is. Thank you. With fast forwarding to Joseph reconciling with his brothers, bringing his family, bringing Jacob there, and Jacob realized that his son wasn't dead, because Jacob, I didn't mention, his heart was just broken when the sons told him that Joseph was dead. And that's horrible. That's absolutely horrible how people do things, So we're going to fast forward, and he brought Jacob and the family to that country, to Egypt. And before Jacob died, he blessed Joseph's sons, Nephtali and Ephraim. Those was his sons that he blessed. And actually, they're actually one of the I believe, I'm not, I will have to literally go through my Bible, because I want to make sure I give accurate information. So let me not say something that I have to second guess, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I know it was Ephraim and Naphtali. I was going to say something else, but I'm just going to leave it at that Jacob ended up blessing, because Joseph had married and had kids there in Egypt. Okay, fast forwarding. That's where they end up overpowering and dominating Egypt, because they were just breeding. And then years went on where the Pharaoh that knew Joseph no longer, the new Pharaoh came about, and he didn't know the history of Joseph, so he treated the Israelites the family of Jacob, the seed of Jacob, like enemies and of slaves, that they was only there to worship them and build for them, and they end up becoming in bondage. Um, did I leave anything out? And I'm skipping over hundreds of years and going, and okay, and there you have it. I believe I covered Genesis. Guys, I want to thank you for this opportunity, for yet again allowing me to speak to you. And I pray that you get something out of this. I pray for myself that I get something. Although I'm conveying this information, I still want the Holy Spirit to touch my mind and heart, that I walk away and do these things that I talk about. No one have arrived. I still got to meditate and pray on a daily basis, and when I'm getting ready to do something, and make sure I don't go out of character, do something that I'm going to regret. So no one have arrived. So I pray that God lift anyone's accountants that have come across this program, and wherever you're lacking in, that your blessings and your needs are met. Um, Also, seeking God. If you seek Him, the kingdom first, He will add so much else onto you. Don't be afraid. It's a beautiful thing. We've all went through it. We all went through that chastising. It's not a pretty feeling, but when you allow God to guide you, no one can take your blessings. No one can take your joy away, and no one can take away anything that God has given you. What the cankerworm has taken, God will give back 100, 10, 20, 100-fold. Guys, I just want to thank you for always giving me this opportunity to speak to you. Thank you, and God bless you. Have a wonderful and blessed day.